All right, welcome to another Red Shirts Always Die Away Team podcast. I am Charles Bandit Evans, editor-in-chief of Red Shirts Always Die, and with me today is a special guest, my buddy David Razor Harris, who is the editor-in-chief of our Star Wars sister site, Dork Side of the Force. David, thanks for being with us.
What?
Such a sigh, man. Such a sigh.
I know.
So I just thought it would be fun to bring you on for this one, to get your impressions of the trailer, not being a super Star Trek fan, not somebody who's as into it as I am. So what are your overall impressions of the trailer for CBS's new Star Trek series?
First of all, is it still politically correct to say Trekkie?
Yeah, look, some people get annoyed with Trekker thing. I think embrace the Trekkie.
Embrace it, okay. All right, yeah, no, I like the new trailer. I thought it was pretty cool. At first, I thought I was watching a new Star Wars trailer. To be honest with you, I thought it was the Millennium Falcon jumping out of hyperspace there for a second, and it sure as heck looked like it. But then the good old fashioned Star Trek music, the kicked in, and I knew what I was watching. And
yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I remember in Dork Side of the Force, not Dork Side. I'm sorry. I remember in the new Star Wars movie. I was watching that, and there's the scene.
Well, they're synonymous.
They're synonymous. I was watching that, and the scene where the Millennium Falcon goes into hyperdrive, and you see the kind of blue waves around it, that looked like the Millennium Falcon had just entered the wormhole from Deep Space Nine. So it's interesting that they are crossing. You guys apparently are using our visuals, and we're going to use yours. So,
dadgum J.J. Abrams.
But beyond that, overall, I mean, I thought the trailer was fantastic. I thought it was, it certainly had some elements that I think the reason the elements felt maybe a little Star Warsy is because this is a new trailer and it's got modern graphics, and it's been 11 years since we had a Star Trek series on TV. So obviously it's going to look a little more. It's
been 11 years since Scott Bakula graced our TV.
It's been 11 years since he quantum leaped into the next, into the Boldly Go. So yeah. But it just, to me, the trailer was great. The planets you were flying by was very reminiscent of the Star Trek The Next Generation opening and the Star Trek Voyager opening. Everything just felt super cool. What did you think about the insignia, the Starfleet insignia at the end?
I was just asking you about that, man. That's my big mystery to me, because usually the Star Trek insignia is all shiny, right? Like, isn't it all polished up and pretty looking? To me, that's like an amber looking, almost to me like a dead planet looking insignia.
Yeah, it's got a lot of scratches, and it looks like it's got a lot of wear and tear on it. So, like,
are we looking at like a Federation, like a dead Federation type insignia, or are we looking like is something going on? Are we looking? I don't know. It's cool because it says new heroes, new villains. Is something? Are we looking at? Are we looking at the future of the Federation? You know more about this.
Really, we don't know yet what the time period is going to be set. But
I'm looking at redshirtsalwaysdied.com, and this isn't a reboot, right? So
no, it's not a reboot. This will not be Kirk, Spock, and Bones. Further adventures. This will be
Great Scott.
Yeah, this will be new folks that we haven't met before. I think that perhaps the scratched up logo, it makes me think that maybe this is going to be a little darker, grittier. Like maybe the logo's gotten scuffed up out in the edges of known space kind of thing. And that's kind of cool. That a lot of the modern, sci-fi series are darker. So you could see that happening. Now, I do hope that there's an underlying message of hope and positive, peace and prosperity and what humanity can do through science, because that's the underlying point of Star Trek. That's everything Star Trek is. So you can't just throw that out the window. But there have been some rumors about a future series, before this series was even talked about, there's rumors about a series being pitched about a Federation in trouble. The Federation is gotten so big, it's cumbersome, and Starfleet has become kind of like UN peacekeepers, just going from place to place to try to keep things under control. And that would be set hundreds of years past Star Trek Nemesis, which is the last thing we saw. But the trailer, to me, it looked great. I love the new heroes, new worlds, new villains stuff, because it means that we're not going to reboot. We're not going to be retreading. This is going to be new stuff. And as much as I want to see a Klingon and the Borg, I don't want us to continue to retread stories we've already done. We need to move forward. And the new cruise part I thought was particularly interesting, because cruise is plural in the trailer.
That's true. Which
the rumors that this could possibly be an anthology series, new cruise would kind of fall with that, because possibly every season we have a new ship, a new crew.
Well, notice the wording; they didn't say new cues, so
no. So
I mean, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
they didn't say new cues. No
old cues.
No old cues. Yeah, I would love to see Q come back. I love Q. He's great. But anyway, okay, so that's our breakdown real quick of the trailer. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to know more about the Star Trek trailer, we have written a plethora of articles on that over at redshirtsalwaysdie.com. If you want more of our podcast, be sure to like our Facebook page that's connected to this very podcast. So, like the Facebook page, and you'll be up to date on all the Star Trek news as it happens. And if you're also a Star Wars fan, be sure to go over to Dorksided and check out Dork Side of the Force, because Dork Side of the Force is where you'll find all the latest stuff on all the new Star Wars movies and information. And you can follow them on Twitter, too. What's your Twitter handle?
Dorkside OTF.
Dorkside OTF on the Twitter book. All right. Thanks so much, guys. And as always, live long and prosper.
May the Force be with you.
Ah.